It's the College Football Couch Potato Report with Dan, the fan with the mic, giving you the fan's perspective of this week's best college football games. Got a bowl of snacks to my left, icy cold beverages to my right, and college football on the TV. Let's see where the action takes us this week. Hello, once again. Welcome into the Couch Potato Report for Week 15 of the college football season. It's Saturday, December 8th. And you know, if you're a couch potato this week, you might have actually had a fairly productive day because for the first time all season, you only had one game to watch today. And of course, it was a very good game, and we're going to talk a lot about it. But yeah, I mean, you know, with the season winding down and everything, of course, we had title week last week. Not a full slate of games, just the one. But now, the one game, obviously, a great one, Army-Navy. Obviously, it goes without saying the tradition of this game. Every year the first game they ever played was in 1890. Obviously, that dates back quite a long time. And the tradition has been going on really ever since. They meet every year. It's usually the last weekend of the season. So that, you know, just the one game, They always play at the neutral site. Most of the time it's in Philadelphia. Sometimes it goes to Baltimore. This year it was in Philadelphia again at Lincoln Financial Field, where, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles play regularly. And you know what? A lot going into this game. As I mentioned, it's a very storied rivalry. It dates back into the 1800s. The series record is actually a lot closer than it has been, at least in recent years. Navy has actually won 56. Army has won 49. And, of course, they obviously tied the remaining 7. But, yes, I mean, recently it's been dominated by Navy. Navy's won the last 10. Most of which have been very big blowouts. I mean, of recent years, they've gotten a little bit tighter. Army's starting to get a little bit better as they continue on here. But yeah, great game today. Busted out the great jerseys as they always do. I think, if I heard correctly, the Army jerseys were supposed to be commemorating the World War II type era with like the maps in the numbers and everything like that. Oh, it looked great. Kind of a nasty weather day, but didn't stop them from playing. Of course, the Commander-in-Chief trophy was also up for grabs, and in case you didn't hear or just forgot a little bit, the Commander-in-Chief trophy goes to the winner, I'll rephrase, the best record in the games against the Armed Service Academies, that is Army, Air Force, and, of course, Navy. So Army and Navy both beat Air Force earlier in the year, so whoever won this game would get the Commander-in-Chief trophy, which, I mean, as you heard both head coaches talk about, it's a great thing to win for your school. If Navy won this game, they would obviously take it home, and if Army won, they would get it. So a lot of great things going on, a lot of great storylines going into this game. And also, one more interesting one, Trent Steelman, who's going to go down as one of the most certainly productive and maybe, dare I say, iconic quarterbacks in Army history. A 4-year starter. You know, Army not the greatest by way of wins in his 4-year tenure, but you know what? The one thing that he had never done, obviously, was beaten Navy, and that's what he was really setting out to do, as he mentioned in his pregame press conference today. 4-year starter, never beat Navy. He was really looking to do that for his Army Black Knights today. So here we go, into the action on a rainy December day down in Philadelphia. Neither team scored in the first quarter. Good defense, you know, not a whole lot materialized offensively, but then getting into the second quarter, Navy gets out to a 7-0 lead on the Noah Copeland touchdown with 9:27 left. Army then countered with a touchdown of their own. Quarterback Trent Steelman, hey, we were just talking about him. He ran into the end zone on a pretty good-looking touchdown run with 6:20 left, pushing the score to 7-7. Of course, then, end of the half got a little bit interesting. Navy got a field goal inside 30 seconds, so that pushed the score to 10-7. On the ensuing kickoff, you had the face mask penalty on Navy, which gave Army very, very, very good field position. They had a couple of good plays which got them down into field goal range. A very long field goal attempt by the Army kicker. I shouldn't say he nails it. It was actually a barely made field goal. It hit the left upright, stayed within the upright, so field goal good. And that left both teams tied at the half with a score of 10-10. Alrighty, so we go into the third. Army turned the ball over early on, didn't really amount to much. Kind of a very back and forth type deal in the third quarter, but not a whole lot of scoring. You know, Army would drive a little bit, Navy would drive a little bit. The only third quarter score came on the Army field goal. Again, it was inside 4 minutes. So that pushed the score to 13-10 Army. And Army really looked pretty good in this second half. They just, didn't get a whole lot of scoring in, and obviously more on that later. So then in the fourth, again, only one score. This time it was by Navy. Their freshman quarterback, Keenan Reynolds, had a nice 8-yard run within the last 5 minutes of regulation, actually, which ended up proving to be the game winner for Navy. Now, of course, as they so very nicely mentioned on the broadcast today, we'd be remiss if we didn't call some attention to it too. One of the Navy quarterbacks, not Keenan Reynolds obviously, but their third stringer, Ralph Montalvo, obviously had the very horrific car accident on Thanksgiving. He's in critical condition, as we found out, really fighting for his life. Of course, the players had the stickers on the back of their helmets to commemorate him. They had his jersey on the sideline also as kind of a tribute to him. So certainly wish him the best, and hopefully he can... Well, I mean, I was going to say get back out there on the field, but at this point it seems more like just, get healthy again. That's what you wished for. So, okay, back to the action. So that Keenan Reynolds touchdown pushed the score to 17-13, and obviously that proved to be the final. But got a little bit interesting then thereafter. Again, we're in like the last 4 minutes here, and Army's driving, looking pretty good, making a lot of good plays. Gets the ball to the Navy 14. Navy 14-yard line, again, 17-13, so you need a touchdown, obviously. But, on one of the, what was the last Army play of the game, fullback Larry Dixon fumbles on the Navy 14-yard line. Navy recovers. Game over. Navy wins this one for the 11th consecutive meeting of these two teams by a score of 17-13. So what does all this mean? Well, obviously, Navy continues their decade-long dominance over the Army Black Knights with that 11th straight win. Navy wins the Commander-in-Chief trophy, again, since they beat both Air Force and Army. Sad scene at the end with Trent Steelman really just bawling his eyes out. Again, as we mentioned, he really wanted to get that win for Army in his last ever career game for the Black Knights. Fell short. You saw him being consoled by that 3-star general in attendance. So, with Vice President Joe Biden in attendance in Philadelphia, you had just one of the better games, at least in recent years, between Army and Navy. Close. Army really battled. Really, they were in this game right down to the end there, into that last Dixon fumble. So, that's really all she wrote. And, of course, you have the one of the greatest scenes, I think, ever that you ever see in sports. And not just college sports, I mean sports anywhere, is how they do the singing of the alma maters. Of course, at the end of the game, you have the losing team sings theirs first. They go, both teams walk into walks towards the sidelines, the opposing team's sidelines, where of course the cadets sit and the midshipmen sit and all that. And then they sing the alma maters, and then so Army obviously goes first. Since Navy won, they get to go second. Again, just to see that, it's one of the most storied rivalries, if not the most storied rivalry in all of sports. But to see that kind of mutual respect, you don't see that too much, and it's certainly something that you as a fan can really appreciate. Not just because of the football, but because it's America's game as it was billed. You obviously have Army and Navy going at it, our armed services men. So it's always a great game. And what really made this year's great, too, was that the action was so good. Sometimes you get those games where, Navy's just been dominating for a while, going back to the Ricky Dobbs era, which was obviously just pure naval dominance. But, this game, Army was good. They were right in there. Congratulations to Navy for, again, winning their 11th consecutive bout between the Army and Naval Academy. They get the Commander-in-Chief trophy, and of course they get another year's worth of bragging rights amongst the Armed Service Academies. So there you have it. There's Army-Navy, and there's Week 15 of the college football season. Now, normally we obviously always do the around the league, around the nation portion in this podcast, but hey, that was the only game on the block today. So I guess, us couch potatoes have to go try and do something constructive to fill up the rest of our day. And, maybe put some pants on, maybe clean the crumbs off our shirt. Who knows? What a concept. And on that note, we will wrap things up here from my couch. Also keeping us busy for the rest of the day will be the Heisman presentation. I'll undoubtedly come back with some type of commentary on that. There's a lot of parody surrounding the Heisman this year. Of course, you have Colin Klein, Nantai Teo, Johnny Football, also known as Johnny Manziel. So, yeah, we'll come back. We'll do a program talking about the Heisman in just a little bit. Hey, they're going to do the presentation in less than an hour from now, so I'll almost be right back. So, anywho, again, I'm Dan Waters. This is the Couch Potato Report, Week 15 of the college football season. Of course, thank you for tuning in. Could not do the show without you. You guys are the best. Talk to you again soon.